And we either fix how to stop the drain, or we shut it down because it's not feasible for us.
The February 17th Weston County Commissioner meeting to order. I'm going to care to give an invocation before we get into county business.
I can.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the liberties that you've given us. We ask that you are with us today in this meeting. Help us make correct decisions and treat each other with the utmost respect. Bless our county and the people in it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Mayor Owens, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Before we have an agenda, is there any changes or additions? Yes, Mr.
We had talked about rescinding that one resolution on.
Yeah, we did.
So can we put it on? Or do you want to put it on the next one?
Sorry?
Nobody told me what.
I'm sorry. It was the one over our electeds where we appointed, forget the number.
It would have been 25, like 1 or 2. There's a redistricting one?
Yeah.
Constitutional?
Would you like to put it on the next one?
Yeah, please.
I apologize.
Yeah, not a problem.
Any other additions or changes to the agenda?
I don't see cheeseburgers on here. So.
That can be next.
All right. No additions or changes to the agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
Which one do you want?
Vera says she'll do it.
Okay.
The motion properly seconded to approve the agenda as amended, or as unamended, I apologize. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
You need to practice that section out of everything.
I always flub right at the very beginning. I don't know why. I guess we're all human.
It's like a Navajo blanket. Shoot that.
Yeah. Public comment. Is there any public comment? Yes, sir.
The festival of tables for the Upton Chamber of Commerce is on the 21st of March, I believe, at 6. So the Chamber of Commerce president wanted me to let you guys know in case you wanted to get a table. Okay.
21st of March. Festival.
That would be fun. We'd have to sit at different tables.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor Trandle.
That'd be fun.
Any other public comment?
I know tomorrow at the high school or in the dome they are doing the career day thing, and they've gotten so many businesses that they're actually putting the schools and things like that out in the common area. And I just thought that was kind of neat that they were able to get so many people involved this year.
Very cool.
Maggie's cool.
Thank you all. Any other public comments? All right, moving on to the minutes of February 3rd, 2026.
Orange tags.
My own tabs.
Is there any changes to the minutes? Thank you, Ms. Serpent.
All right, under collections for county clerk, clerk of district court, etc. 1, 2, after the title 1, 2, 3, 4 about the mental, it says sheriff's office, not have other. If we could change that to sheriff's office to clarify other. And I'm not sure it wouldn't be a good idea to put quotes around other.
Okay.
Of course, on the next page under board signature, just a typo of minutest, which I think is supposed to be minutes. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Then board signature on the resolution. I would like to have it in there somehow that I requested not to be called.
Okay.
And then under, somehow in there, after it said that it could call everybody, I requested not to.
Okay.
And then under commissioner comment, Commissioner would let the board know that the city of Newcastle has asked her about the 6 penny. It was a constituent that asked me about it. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Any other additions, changes to the minutes? February 3rd, 2026.
Move to approve with the changes.
Second.
The motion properly seconded to approve the minutes as agended for February 3rd, 2026. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Go.
Yes, and just to clarify on this, so when you guys approved to change the provider of service with the sheriff's office, it was to put the funds in, or search and rescue, it was to put the funds into that account. When we first did this budget adjustment, we put it into the coroner's rent. We're now, when you question that, we should have not done that resolution. This is changing it from the coroner's rent, adding it into the provider of service like we were to do before. So it's putting it directly into the search and rescue account, so it's not paying them, it's just adding that fund into their account as discussed.
Ms. Pepper?
That was good. You didn't even look up nothing. Excuse me. Only thing I would say is it's not an increase to the budget, so I would like to mark out the 16,4,113 and leave that out because it's not an increase in the budget. It's just a shifting. So we're not increasing the budget. I think it gives the appearance that we're increasing.
So we're just moving.
We're just laterally.
So really, we wouldn't have had to
Right.
do this. Okay, so we don't even need to.
We
do
really
this?
don't. I honestly
Okay.
don't think. I think for the public, we need to tell them this fund is now moved in this line item instead of this line item. If you were going to look, and I think that I don't have a problem with the resolution stating that, but it's not an increase to the budget.
No, we're just moving.
We're just laterally moving.
Yes.
You want to strike that and then move forward with it?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm okay if we just take the first whereas out.
Yeah.
You can just want me to do that, and then you guys can sign.
Then
it
we'll sign it, and then
in the
away.
workshop. Okay.
So we have been public. Okay, speaking is going to be really rough for me today. So we have allowed the public to understand that we have moved it. So thank you.
Just so for everybody, for understanding, and I'll just read what we're going to do. It's Resolution 2026-3. It's an amendment to the current budget, 25-26. So it'll be resolved by the governing body of Weston County, Wyoming, the 25-26 county budget be closing line item titled General Coroner Rent and moving the amount into the account titled General 1% Sales Tax Search and Rescue. which will have an expenditure amount of $3,000, and by adding $16,053.79 to general building and grounds major repairs for unanticipated funds.
Well, there's two parts to
Yeah.
it, so we really couldn't do that, so we may have to do two separate ones. Maybe just remove that portion of it, because we are, there is a budget adjustment for
The unanticipated revenue.
because what happened is the insurance company is paying us for the, damage at the fairgrounds. So that check came in. So we have to increase the budget for that check, and then we will pay White's Construction directly. So we do have to increase for that unanticipated check, and then we have to write White's the check directly, because they wrote the check to us instead of White's Construction. So there's two parts to that. So if you want me to take out the 3,000 and then just do the building and grounds one, we can do that. Because we are increasing the budget on that one.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
We're actually doing an increase.
We are on the building and grounds
Yeah.
due to that check being written to us directly. I can write that
So,
one out.
yeah, so just do the, okay.
Okay.
So I don't see that. What am I missing?
It's the bottom paragraph of the second, or bottom part of the second paragraph where it
Oh, the 3,000?
adding the $16,000 to the account from Progressive.
I don't have that one on mine.
So this is resolution 2026-3.
This one doesn't say that. I don't know what I got. It's the one I printed off. Can I see that?
Maybe we got it after I sent it out. Probably. I think that's what happened.
Yeah. See, this doesn't
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
second. Oh, Christ. Beat me up, Scotty. This is not a good plan. Yeah, mine doesn't have that on it, so you must have added it.
Yeah, I think we got the check Friday.
So, Mr. Chairman, if we could remove that
Yeah.
and put it on a separate one for that very purpose and not necessarily the other one.
I'll just take the 3,000 out. I can do it. I have a small break.
Pause on that one. Move on to the chairman's signature on warranty deed.
This is cleanup on the property that was sold behind the annex years ago. The city had to do their map to get it done, and I think we did that middle of last year. Now this is a warranty deed, the county giving the property to the new owners.
County of Weston, Wyoming, by and through this board of commissioners, grantor for $10 and other good and valuable consideration in hand paid, receipt of which is hereby acknowledged, conveys and warrants to William L. Brager of 76 Lower North Fork Road, Lander, Wyoming. Grantee, the following described real estate situated in Weston County and the state of Wyoming, hereby releasing and waiving all rights under and by virtue of the homestead exemption laws of said state. And there's lots 21B, 22, 23, and 24B, block 11 of the original town of Newcastle. Together with all buildings and improvements located thereon, or, so the word I used, appurtenant thereto, and all rights, privileges, hereditaments, and tenements appertaining or belonging to all water rights and ditch rights, subject to all easements, covenants, and rights of way of record, including but not limited to the covenants attached hereto. You're gonna read the rest of them.
No way. I already tripping over my tongue. I don't need any additional.
So what that
words.
amounts to is,
I've never
the lots
seen
were
them.
set up one way and the retaining wall split the lot in half, so we had to clean up the deeds, so everybody.
It just wasn't a retaining wall. I mean, the retaining wall
Yeah.
went up 16, 20 feet. You know, it's not like you could just,
They're on or pertinent.
The old bank parking lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
that or to
Back
the
side
west
of
of that,
the south side or west side.
west
yeah.
side. So of course my question is going to be, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
does this have the blessing of our county attorney?
He's in court.
I see.
But I did talk to him on the phone and he.
Okay with that?
Yes.
I just don't like to put ourselves into some situation that comes back around and says I'm gonna have, right?
Yeah. He was in the I know he was in here during the process of the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
So
involved.
it was a year ago or two that we just started.
It's been dragging on.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the chairman's signature on the warranty deed.
Second.
Motion properly seconded to approve the chairman's signature on the warranty deed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Chairman's signature on letter of support, supporting the Natural Resource District, applying for a grant supporting the Northeast Wyoming Habitat Improvement Project. Assume everybody, you read it in your emails. You got a copy of it. So, I mean, for a little short, quick understanding, helps our natural resource district have some footing in the door when it comes to have a little say on forest management. This thing that's happening in Weston County on grazing lands, let's say in the room with BLM, state forest, things like that.
Make a motion to approve,
Yes, ma'am.
So in discussing this a little bit, and I've been out of the loop for a little while, did we ever get our land use plan updated?
Well, whatever, I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have an updated version of our land use plan? Just seems silly to sign it if we haven't had it updated. May I have a copy of that?
I think it's on the website.
Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve chairman's signature on letter of support supporting the Natural Resource District, applying for grant, supporting the Northeast Wyoming Habitat Improvement Project.
Second.
Motion properly seconded to approve the chairman's signature on the letter of support supporting the grant for the Northeast Wyoming Habitat Improvement Project for the Natural Resource District. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? For a grant application.
There, one.
Yeah, it is.
You're
Just,
signing.
okay. So this is a, okay. This is just a letter of support, yeah. Penny tax, you think we should wait 10 minutes?
I think if it's okay, Chairman Todd, we could move ahead with that if you want.
Okay.
You don't
Sure
expect
won't.
anybody else?
Thank you, Chairman
You
Todd.
bet.
Honorable County Commissioners.
Oh, no.
We are trying to move forward with the process of getting the sixth penny and also the economic, half penny economic development tax put on the ballot in the general election. So we have been working with the town of Upton, the best town on earth, and the other only incorporated town in our county, which it's my understanding we needed 2 incorporated towns to approach the Board of County Commissioners about having the penny taxes added to the ballot for the general election. And so we would really like to move forward in the process. Figure that it will show our legislators that we have some skin in the game when we're applying for grants for some of the projects that we're already engaged in with the city of Newcastle and that we have on our capital improvements plan. And it'll give the voters a say as to whether they would like to support that penny tax. But I didn't know if you'd like to add anything.
Well, just as the legislature kind of, as revenues get cut, but expenditures rise for local governments to provide things for our communities, the legislature kind of has verbalized they want the small towns to pick themselves up by the bootstraps and do it. Putting projects before the voters is the only way for us to do that without, the revenue streams that we used to have. So I think the best option is to give the constituents a say in whether they want a certain project or not.
And I believe that we're both working with our public works directors to get some specific projects listed, and that way we can come up with a total dollar amount and a goal to shoot for through the penny tax.
So in our February meeting last week, we raised the issue with the rest of the council, and they were in support of putting the 6 penny before the voters, just so they can choose whether or not they wanted to support it, as opposed to us doing the projects that we think and such. To put a project before the voters seems more palatable. And the rest of the council was in support of it. We're going to decide on the project, sounds like, at our March meeting next month. A couple ideas. We have for us, I think the amount generated by the 6 penny would be like $195,000. So we had a couple sample projects, the purchase of a new ambulance, which would take 1.5 years. Update our communication system between our municipal departments was like 3 months or something like that. That would take to like pie in the sky First Street, which if you know Upton, First Street's where everything in town drains down and settles by the train tracks, so that area is kind of a disaster. So revamping that, I think the amount of time would be 12 years or something like that with the 6 penny. So we've already looked at a couple ideas. So in March, we're going to hammer, definitive. We're going to try to get a definitive project hammered out, and then try to get that on the ballot if possible.
And then I guess it's our idea with the city of Newcastle to further our capital improvements plan that we already have in the projects for water and wastewater, but we're going to try to use the funding to pay for the other third of the road for paving over those projects. That streets are one of my biggest complaints that I hear about all the time with the city. So we kind of like to see our streets improve in town. And I'm going to run it by, or let my council know how this meeting goes today, and then we're going to work on trying to identify projects, probably by our next meeting as well.
Yes, Mr.
So, clock is ticking, and you have to be rather specific on your special use of what you're going to do. At what point, Madam Clerk, should they have it down pat to be able to be put on the ballot?
I can look at my timeline. I'll go on the general ballot.
Mr. Chairman, if I may continue. Because like the hospital project, when we did the specific tax for the hospital, I mean, they had it down to the penny. We calculated it out, it'd take 10 years. Ended up being 7. But still, nonetheless, that was down to pretty much, we lucked out. We had a couple big projects like pipeline and stuff that came through that helped pay. So, that has to be pretty down spec. And I think the legislature allowed just the municipalities to do it, so the county wouldn't be charged such if chose not to do that. But also the fact is we could join in too, but we'd have to have a specific purpose for that portion. Now, you're telling me the economic development is what?
It was a half-penny economic development tax. And then I brought that one before my council, and then it sounds like Upton will support us in that bid. But I had spoken with the county commissioner in the past when I was running for mayor, and it was brought to my attention that you have to have money to engage in economic development. So it was just a bid for the voters to see if we could generate some money so that we could further some of the economic development projects that I already started.
Yes, ma'am.
So you picked half a penny?
Yeah, that was the only economic development tax. It was. I think it can go all the way up to a quarter or something, but I didn't want to get too carried away, Commissioner.
An excise tax at a rate of increments of 0.25%, not to exceed rate of 1% upon retail sales of tangible personal property, properly.
Oh, 0.25%. Yes.
Admissions and services made within the county, the purpose of which for economic development. Now that says within the county. Is there a different one for municipalities?
I don't think so.
So that's within the county. Okay. So go big or go home.
I like the ambulance idea because you're incorporating also folks out of the city limits in this deal. So
Our newest ambulance is 11 years old, and I think our EMS supervisor said just the ambulance without all the stuff you need inside it, it's $325,000 just for the shell of the ambulance, essentially. So, the ambulance is a tall order, but putting it, on the ballot like that for the voters as, a project that affects everybody, and it affects people outside of city limits. That I was leaning towards the ambulance as well with the sample projects we had already looked at. But we'll see what the rest of the council feels when we hammer home next month.
yeah.
I like the idea of that 6 cent because the voters can see exactly what that 1 cent, where it's going. It's on the ballot, so they know exactly where it's going. I like the idea of that.
I got excited about asking the commissioners about this because I travel the whole state for work. I see the power of the penny in a lot of other counties, and I just want to get some work done in our community. So I'm hoping that the voters are amicable to voting for it if we get the application done and everything, and the county commissioners are on board us moving forward in the process.
And if the voters aren't in support of it, at least it came down to their decision whether or not they wanted to support it. So it's a win-win.
Agreed.
What happened? Sorry. Francie, or
I'm here.
yeah, your mic's on. Did you shut it off?
My line's not.
No, your mic.
I don't know about your mic, but your mic is on.
Miss you.
My mic's on.
Yeah.
I'm on. Sorry.
You're okay. Miss Huber.
Sure, that was funny. After what you just read, the half cent for economic development, how do you see that if it's not set up for municipal? Is that what you're?
It says in the county, which makes all the sense in the world.
So you're saying if the plan is to use it countywide for economic development, would that be?
For the half cent,
I think it's for them.
yeah, and it wouldn't be for both municipalities. If Newcastle went ahead with the half penny, it would just be for them.
Wow, that might be interesting.
So they code it. Is it based off of all sales?
Yeah, all retail tangible sales, so cars.
So like potentially within a school district area, or know how they break that down?
It'd be the municipality.
Just within city limits. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is going to draw up an interesting thing on your sales tax forms. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We'd have to see how that would work.
I mean, the city of Torrington does it. They get like 0.35 or some interest. It says increments of 0.25, so maybe I'm wrong. But I've always struck me as odd that they picked 0.35, and maybe I have had head colds before when I've read things. So I know they do it specifically for the town of Torrington. So, and I've never really paid attention when I bought something there to look at my receipt to see whether or not. And I certainly haven't gone to Yoder to see if I bought something there that would be different, or Hawk Springs. So, let's find this thing out.
I have to say, while everybody else is thinking about running for election and how to do that, we have a budget. We have a serious budget. We have a legislature that has weighed in, I think, on one vision of Wyoming, and I think it's very important to be thoughtful. And let me say, not a legislature, a joint appropriations committee. But that's the job I have. That's what I was elected to do, and I'm not. Yeah, when I always tell this story. So Dad told me to go water the chickens, and so I spent the entire morning figuring out a way I didn't have to carry the pails of water over to the chickens. And at noon, he said, "So, did you get the chickens watered?" And I said, "I got this really cool thing, Dad." And he said, "But I told you, go water the chickens." And I think I've got that job. Make sure that we get through this budget session. Thank you.
So it would just be for Newcastle.
The half penny. And all that I spoke with my council about was the 6th penny project. So that's kind of what they had agreed on or expressed support.
So what about license plates, things like that? Would that, so it would still, they'd look at your residence location, and it would be difficult to weave through all that. It must be doable without too much trouble. But
That must be. This is an interesting. I mean, we've never done anything quite like this. We've done the specific text, that was countywide, and there was never ever question.
when that happens, Mr. Owens, does it go? Those monies, when they're collected, how does your entity then disperse those funds to whom, or to Or in what format, you know?
I don't know, Commissioner.
Because is there a development board currently operating within Newcastle potentially right now?
We have 2 economic development projects, and then, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure like what we could use that economic development tax towards. You know, like
Might be earmarked for.
yeah, I probably should have came in here a little bit better equipped, but it was like the whole thing I've been doing with my council, the spaghetti technique, where you just throw stuff until something sticks, you know. So I wanted to see if the voters, because I thought it'd be a good problem to have if the voters actually voted for it, and then we could have that half-penny revenue, and then we could use it towards economic development, you know. So, because I mean, right now the current economic development projects. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, keep talking.
Oh.
I'm listening. I've got something to say. I'm listening.
The one is already funded. The city's already funded it. And then it's also funded under a HUD grant through rural development. So that one's already funded. And then the other one is we're working in conjunction with the Business Council. So that one's already funded. But if we wanted to move forward with, the position that we have for the first one that I just spoke about, the RCAC project, the idea behind that is we're trying to hire what's called a community coordinator. And then the idea and the premise behind the project is that the community coordinator would go on to be like a funded position in the future. So I don't know if that half-penny could go towards paying the community coordinator's wages, or, you know, it was just a Hail Mary pass to see if we could get it, the voters to fund it, and then we could see what we could do with it in the future.
I think I'd go research that.
Yeah.
Because here's what my stomach is telling me. Which is telling me a lot of stuff. I'm not going to tell you all everything. But places like Cheyenne and Casper, I mean, they have Casper Forward, Cheyenne has Leeds. So they already have economic development boards who would be the fiduciary guardian of that money. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what Torrington has, but I think they do. They have a specific economic board. So I'm not sure you can go through it without, you'd have to go read the Constitution, you'd have to read state law, that money has to go into that type of fund, and they become the fiduciary guardians of it. So I'd look into that before putting it on if you didn't have that set up already.
Yeah. So Commissioner, again, too, something that we provide too is a subsidy for our Chamber of Commerce, right? So I mean, if we can use economic development half-penny tax to maybe offset the cost that we already incur for the Chamber of Commerce, I mean, we got lots of subsidies that we already provide for service providers in our community. So I understand what you're saying. The reason that I push my council to approve me coming to talk to you guys about this is that I'd really like to see more happening on our main street. I'd like to, be able to, maybe we can use that economic development tax to, provide funding for activities in our community, or other things that help develop, the economy in our community.
With all due respect, I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah.
But excuse me, if the mechanism is that you must have a board.
Well, the city council's a board. Can we
No.
fund it through the city?
I think you have to have, I'm
Like a specific
economic
entity.
board.
Okay. So like my little economic development committee that I started with my council probably wouldn't serve in that capacity. So I understand what you're saying, Commissioner. So I should have came better equipped to this meeting. I need to go back and research exactly how the mechanisms in place to receive that. So, and then I don't know how close we're getting to the general election ballot, because I think my understanding is that we have to approach you within 120 days of the general election to get the application filled out and everything.
And the board has to do a resolution.
Right,
So
right.
there's a process, so we'll have to, I know some counties have already done their resolution to approve that, so.
And if, for the specific tax, you're gonna have to list what that's for.
Okay.
And because what happens is the tax is only collected until you reach that.
Yeah.
Anything above and beyond, it stops. I mean, like we said, if it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. If it only takes 7, it only takes 7. So you have to list that specific, and the voters have to know that. You
Yep.
give them a general idea, a public hearing, so they understand how long it may take. Yeah, but I really would go research the other, because I don't know if I would be on board without knowing.
Exactly how it's gonna. So thank you again, commissioners. It seems like every time I come before your board, I get schooled a little bit on something. So I'll go back and do my homework, and then I'll try to come back before you maybe at the next meeting, and then have a little bit more information for you.
I think it's excellent.
I think your heart's in the right spot.
Absolutely.
Mr. Owens, I want to commend you for that, and I think that even just cleaning up nuisance buildings, if it was something as insignificant as something like that, you're using it for the benefit of the community, or the board that you've designated is using it for the benefit of the community. But I do have, just playing devil's advocate here, because this has happened in the past in Weston County. There used to be a development board that was county-wide, and that fell apart. What happens when something is funded, per se, to accomplish a mission with a certain goal in mind? If that entity doesn't follow through, what happens to those funds?
Go back to the general fund.
So that's an unfortunate side of this. You have to find a real dedicated group of individuals that will follow through, and that's my probably biggest concern with these kind of projects is that oftentimes it's hard to find people that will.
That's the thing that we're struggling with, Chairman Todd, with a lot of things in our community, right? We gotta have people that are willing to put in the work. We have to have people that want to be involved, right? And those people, unfortunately, anymore are in short supply. But like I say to everybody, we're doing the best we can with what we got. And so I'll go do my homework. I'll come back a little bit better equipped to have this discussion. And then if we can come up with some very specific uses, or there's different ways to do it that don't require an economic development board, then that would be helpful, because it's difficult to find people that want to be involved.
Well, and maybe in part of your working through this, that some of those funds that you do for chambers and for whatever, you could form economic and funnel those towards that to start this process. And if you can't get it done for this ballot, perhaps in 2 years you can. I mean, that might be an idea, that you'll establish a board. I mean, we had several years ago new EDC, right?
Yeah.
That was an interesting journey. But that was a way that was supposed to be funneling money towards, and then they come back through and do economic development things.
So, and not that Upton's considered a half penny, but for example, like Upton's got that.
You do.
Upton Economic Development Board, that would be the fiduciary for that money, those monies collected. Okay.
That's the way that, Mayor, I understand it. I would rather you went and researched that and came back, because I just kind of, I just knocked the meringue off of the pie instead of, finding out what was in the pie. And I would have given you a lot more, but Whatever this thing is that decided to swirl around the Capitol and land on people, like Ed and me and his other review had, whatever it decided to do has made you've heard me, my brain into mush. So I haven't given it what I usually give, and I apologize for that because your time is valuable too. So I would just ask, I will do more research too when my brain joins me, but I would do some more and in a hurry.
And as for ballot time frame, I think in terms of the 6 penny, if we decide the project in March,
I think you're okay.
yeah, because I think May or something is the drop dead time. So if we decide a project in March, that gives us enough time to get it on the ballot.
I'm not sure I like the word dead, but whatever.
Mr. Reagan?
So as a board, we just need to set tight on this until you guys get projects, a specific project figured out before we should move forward on our end.
Yep. After our meeting in March, we'll have.
I just want to make sure that we don't hold you guys up on that.
Oh,
For the
Oh,
6
please
penny.
don't let us hold you up. Yeah.
So homework is to come back with what we want specifically for the 6 penny tax, and then have a better idea of the mechanisms involved with the half-penny economic development tax.
And so that will be your guys' second meeting in March. Right. Because we'll have our council meeting between your 2 meetings in March. So at the second meeting, we'll have an answer of what we decided on.
Yeah, probably whatever board it is that would be disseminating those funds, I think, Ty.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't stop yourself. I mean, go for the 6 penny. I don't have it. You may have to wait for that.
That's okay. Yeah. It was worth a shot, and I'll come back more informed next meeting.
Well, I could be
and
totally
see
wrong.
what we-
No, I'm glad you came in. I think it gives us an idea, which, I mean, I had an understanding that you guys were working towards it, but it helps to understand.
I mean, I only got 2 years and 10 months or something like that left on my term, and I want to get a lot more stuff done. So we'll just keep plugging away, forging ahead.
You bet.
Good for you.
Thank you on that. Did you have and then if you're done with that aspect, I guess?
I believe so. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't. Thank you for your time, Commissioner.
And then joint engineer with the city of Newcastle.
Yeah. So I was, Mr. Chair, I was speaking with Commissioner Ertman, and she had mentioned that you guys were doing some contract engineering, and then we're always looking at ways to have a good relationship with the Board of County Commissioners and a good community, and we have a perfectly good engineer that just sits across the parking lot from you guys. So we heard roughly about 10 hours a month was what you guys were in need of contract engineering for, and so I had spoken with my engineer before I got on the agenda to speak with you today, and he was amicable to the idea of being able to put in some hours for the Board of County Commissioners monthly. But then prior to coming today, he was kind of hoping that we could get our building inspector position locked down before he committed that time. But we just didn't know if the county commissioners wanted to explore the idea of sharing the position with our city engineer, or if he wanted to continue the contract engineer. But we just wanted you to know that that we would be willing to work with the Board of County Commissioners to share him if some of these other things fall into place, like maybe securing a building inspector, and because he's trying to do both jobs right now, and but if we get that secured, then we would be interested in doing some kind of an MOA with the county to share him. So, do you guys want us to explore that?
Well, kind of where we're at on that is sometimes we need 40, sometimes we need 1, you know, it's so varied, it's unbelievable, and I don't know. My only concern, I guess, would be the times that we need 40 hours. Would that be difficult? Potentially, I guess. And in saying that, the realm that we're working within right now is, and I think it's on the agenda, or Jim's going to talk about it, isn't he? I think we're going to visit maybe briefly about it when Jim's in.
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
Our county road fella, probably the 10 hours is not going to equate to us paying 10 hours worth of guaranteed time. It's morphing more into a as needed basis. It's more just morphing into a commitment to provide engineering services for us. It's been kind of a strange animal as we've been working down this path to try to get somebody that will handle our needs in the future. But it doesn't mean that I couldn't on other projects potentially do that. I have outside of that scope of work. Does anybody else mind, Miss Irvin?
The reason I kind of jumped into this because sometimes that's what we need. We need a red line, and the waiting that we sometimes have to do, and if somebody will do this for us, will somebody do this for us? Can we get? It would be kind of nice to know that somebody can walk across the street and just get that red line. And so that's what I was, because we run into this all the time of. Well, who are we going to get? How are we going to do this? And it would be nice that it could be, not necessarily, I'm not asking for instantaneous, you know what I mean? But at least it's not we're sending out feelers out there to see who could do this for us. And I think we inhibit ourselves when we don't have that ability. We kind of stop to do things. And on that topic, just to kind of scoot it in there too, we might consider their grant person too, if we wanted to delve into that. So I think it behooves the county to have us all be cooperative toward each other, because we're in this thing together. I mean, we have borders, and we're Weston County, and because the legislature wants to split us up doesn't make any sense at all. Never have. And so we should be cooperative. And we can't afford one. You guys can't afford one, really. So why don't we split some of these things? And I do understand that sometimes there's competing items, competing funds. But you guys, the city of Newcastle and the town of Upton doesn't have a courthouse, so we never have that issue.
Yeah, we used to have a designated engineer that we kept on
We did.
retainer for full time, and this thing with that we're working on now, which is morphing into not having that. It's just an agreement, which is great for the county, I guess, in the format that there isn't that retainer necessarily out there. But will they jump when our fire is burning, is my only other concern with that. And we need it immediately, like you said. So I do see some value in it as well. I mean, there could be those occasions. I don't want to foo-foo the idea by any means.
So, Mr. Chairman, it was a campaign promise of mine, right? Like, I want to have good working relationship. We're all Weston County, right? So we get the honor of being the county seat here in Newcastle, and I just want us to be able to work together in some form and function without some of the divisions that I felt like there were in the past when I was serving on council. There was people that were on our board that made it apparent that there was some kind of a strain in the relationship, and I don't like that. I don't like to work like that, and I don't want that. So it's a goal of mine to share whatever resources the city has that the county can use, or vice versa. You know, I want to have a good working relationship, and we're all in this together. We're hardship county, one of the third poorest in the whole state. We're always trying to do the best we can with what we got, and it works better when we're a unified front or a team. So anyway, that's my position. And so if you guys would like to explore this, by all means, we'll be happy to look into it further. If not, that's okay too. If there's something else that we have that you need, or I might come sniffing around and want something that you guys have. So
You're not getting that parking space.
So anyway, that's what we're at. So.
No, I think it's good to start that conversation. I'm glad you are. I think it'd behoove us to visit with Jim a little bit about it too, and because it might be very valuable to him to have a gentleman to go to that's right here and say that here it is. And so I think it's probably a decent idea. I don't see any reason not to investigate it or try to move a little bit towards doing something.
Okay. Well, I'll leave you. I only have 4 cards right now.
There's only 4,
but
that you doesn't count.
I only have 3 cards. So I think I got Ed's number. I talked to him before, so I'll give everybody else a card, and then
You can short stick me. I know where you are.
I already have your info.
Oh, yes, you do.
We have a good working relationship already.
So yeah, if you want to think about it some more and then get back with me, and I'll get back on your agenda and come back.
Sounds good.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for.
Thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce him. This is our engineer, Stephen Dietrich.
Stephen, pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
I think I met you over at the meeting.
So I know who you are.
You could use that with a little different tone.
I really know who you are.
I don't. Could you just give me a little background on you?
Steve Dietrich. I am originally from Wyoming. I spent most of my years in Virginia. This is my second time in Wyoming. I've also spent some time in Oregon. I've got a long history of engineering, design, and either with consulting, but also with state government in all 3 states. This is the first time I've actually got to work in a local government setting. So the level of detail you can get into much quicker is intriguing to me. So this cooperation between county and another town is also unique, which is keeping me very interested in seeing what we can do with it. So I'm a civil engineer by trade, graduate of Virginia Tech way back in the 1980s. But along the way, I've done everything from landfill design, road and bridges, to your basic regulatory type work when it comes to environmental. So,
Good.
yeah, so.
And how long have you been with Newcastle?
Since August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate you folks.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Francis, you're up.
Good. Okay. My case should begin given you guys what I would like to propose. If she
Yeah, we
and
got it and got your email a few days ago over it.
okay, and I just thought my consensus last year, you guys were kind of not liking what I did last year, so I thought I'd bring it to you before we did it. If that's okay, this is what we would like to do: is put $3,000 in repairs and maintenance from our income and $15,000 into our utilities. And I broke it down for the estimate. And if you look on the back, we're already in the hole on our repairs and maintenance because we had a repair on the Bobcat that we weren't expecting this year. We thought we had it all taken care of last year. And that was like $1,000 where we would be or better in repairs and maintenance. And I was just wanting your thoughts.
Miss Urban.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yes, ma'am. We're
Okay.
Miss Urban has an idea or
I don't have an idea.
some
I-
thoughts, I should
Yeah,
say.
there you go. Being a block grant, and we're no longer, we're not the overseers of that because there's a fair board. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this whole thing anyway. I'm not sure why did it decide to have to come back here to get our permission? What happened? Give me some.
Well, what my feeling from last year when we said that we moved $13,000 or almost $14,000 last year, I got the feeling that you guys were a little upset about it. So I thought, I'll do it this way this year.
Did you come and ask us for money, or just tell us that you were moving it?
We just told you that we moved it.
And wasn't there 25,000 that we also
Got back.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we put it into that wall fund.
Right.
So that was part of that too. I mean, we wanted an idea of what was happening with funds and giving you kind of the go ahead with proceeding that direction with it.
That's kind of why I'm doing it this way, so you know exactly what we're doing. Instead of having to be surprised later for you guys.
Well, with all due respect, Francie, I'm really not sure what you're doing. So I don't know.
What do you mean?
These numbers don't mean much to me. And we don't get collections. I don't know. And maybe, a smooth run ship, that's fine. We don't need to know. I'm not sure where we are. I understand when I was gone, there was a request for money, and then there was money sitting in an account somewhere. So I'm not sure where we are. I don't know where we are.
Fine. Do what now, Marty?
It's really not a do what.
So, what you're saying is that we can do this without your consensus?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to have a sit down talk of what we're doing anyway, because I'm not sure.
Okay.
We
can do that.
At budget, it's gonna have to be a conversation, because I don't know. This is. There's a lot of confusion.
I understand.
There's a lot of confusion.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm confused the whole time. I don't know. This isn't comfy.
You're breaking up, so I'm kind of out on the road, so.
Yeah, me and Neil Stack.
One of my concerns right here is the sheet you've given us. our income's not even keeping up with the utilities out there. You know,
Well, I know that. It never will.
well, maybe we need to do some adjustments on our rates, you know, because we just can't
Okay.
keep dumping more money and more money and more money into a pit,
There,
you know.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, I agree. There's gotta be a point where we work this out or we put the locks on the gates.
Okay.
If we don't work this out, this is not what the taxpayer's after. And
Okay. Can I say something here?
Yeah.
Okay, the people that rent the place are taxpayers, and they complain because it's costing as much as it is already. So how do you up your prices when nobody wants to use it for the price that you have it at?
Madam, Mr. You get to be Madam Chair today. Came around finally, thank goodness. That's a responsibility that we have to take. If it becomes a place where nobody's willing to rent it, then why do we have it? And as far as taxpayers, we're all taxpayers. We all ask for services all the time that still cost more money than what we gain. And now at the 25%, the potential of the 50%, that money that's coming in is going to have to be gathered from somewhere because those expenses are too much. Every time a nickel is taken away from this, it's a nickel taken from something else, and so there's only so much. And if this is a drain, then it's a drain, and we either fix how to stop the drain, or we shut it down because it's not feasible for us.